We're out in Prewire in Brisbane today. We're catching up with John and Deb Lewis, who installed a system in April 2020. Come on in and see how they got on.
Hi, my name is John. I live in Prewire. I've had my solar system now for 1 year. We moved in March, midway through March last year. We paid a certain price for the house, and that's what we got, just the house, but driveways, footpaths, landscaping, my little shed out the back, everything else I designed and done all that myself, which is good, I can do that. But one of the most important things was, above all those considerations, was solar and energy. So we've been to a lot of display houses in the big developments that are going up, and people are really stretching their budget, I guess, as far as the house goes, but they should also consider the fact that solar should be one of the first things they should get rather than anything else. I'm not much good with tech, so I get my wife to do all that sort of stuff, but she Googled, like she Googles everything for me, and found out that yes, they've been around for quite a while and they've got a good reputation and they're an improving company, so you know that's what made me go with them in the first place.
When you decided to proceed with GI Energy, did they look after all of the paperwork, all of the approvals? Is there anything that you had to do yourself, or was it all taken care of?
I didn't have to do anything. I'm not sure how it all worked, but I just signed a few bits of paper and that was it, all done. I said to the builder, who was a very good builder, could he liaise with your company to do a pre-wire? And he said, yep, it's not a problem. So I gave your man in charge the phone number of the builder. They got together and the pre-wire was done beautiful. Everything was done right up until the stage where it was due for panels and inverter to come in. The installation, they arrived here 7 o'clock. They said we'll be there at 7. They logged up at 7 and then they got to work unpacking and doing all the rest of it. Out of here before lunch. Perfect. I did have a worry. What was it with now? We had a storm. We had a big storm come through. Massive. And we had tree branches wrapped around the solar panels, on the bloody TV aerial, all that sort of thing. And I said to him, look, I don't know what it's like up on the roof. But he checked out the inverter, and the inverter said to him, everything's good, everything's working fine. So I've had no troubles whatsoever with anything.
So the system that you have is connected to the internet here in the house. So there's an app that's on your phone or on a computer, which GI Energy can then look at remotely.
Yeah,
so that's what he can check out, and actually you can call and say, is the system running as it should be? We've got obviously a display of many customers that are installed, and then we can actually go in and say, this is how the system's working, obviously to give you that peace of mind.
Yeah, well, that's true. I just called up and asked about how it was going, and apparently all the information is there on their phones or computers, and bang, all done.
Brilliant.
Yeah. If I would have went with one of those cheaper companies, I'm sure that I would not have got the same attention to detail, the same expertise, the same quality of equipment. That would never happen. So it pays to pay a little bit more and get the best with anything. It doesn't matter what it is, TVs, you name it, that's what it does. Pay a little bit more and get something better, and in the long run, pays for itself. To our surprise, we didn't expect to make any money out of this. We just wanted to have lower cost of electricity, which is what everybody wants to try and do. But much to our surprise, we have not had or had to pay a bill.
Yeah, okay.
In fact, we now have a credit of $960 odd.
Wow.
So I'm thinking at that rate, this is only in 1 year, that in 3-4 years' time, the system's paid for itself. In the long run, you know that that's where you're at. So you can then use that money or money that you've saved there and put it into something else like landscaping or whatever. So the money that I have saved here, a few $100 here and there, I've put that into other things outside, so it's all been good.
You and your wife Deb are both retired, you're both at home during the day?
Yes.
Yeah, excellent. Okay. So you obviously make a really good effort to use what you can through daylight hours as well?
Oh yeah, we don't worry about what we're using or anything, but being sort of old school people, if you get out of a room, you turn the light off. If you go into the room, you turn it on, things like that. If it's not being used, turn it off, so that all helps. And yeah, so we don't skimp on, apart from that, what we use, and we haven't had any bills at all. So all I asked for at the beginning was the best panels I could get and the best inverter I could get, and I didn't mind paying overs rather than pay for 3.6 or 3.7, which is advertised all the time, and I've got the best equipment.
So the system that you've got installed is a 6 kilowatt Fronius European inverter with the Phono solar panels with a total capacity of 7.7 kilowatts on the roof. That way you've got a system there that's designed for 20 to 25 years.
Yeah, well, I'm 80 and I don't expect to live to 100, and the system that I've got will last me past that point. So that was one of the big considerations, and of course, as I explained before, I'm not paying any bills and the system's going to pay itself off. It makes a lot of sense. So for people my age or retiring, it's the way to go. In the future, they're talking about dropping coal and all the rest of it, so you've got to look to the future and go with what the system is going to be, and solar is obviously the best way to go. And with the system I've got now, not paying any bills, that is really important. I've got 2 grandchildren, beautiful boys, Lewis and Harry. And one is Lewis, it's 3 months, and Harry's 2.5 months. I have to consider what the future will be like for them, and I would like to think that perhaps the world could be a little bit better place to live in, because it's certainly not going to be if we don't look after the environment. So for my grandchildren, that also is a consideration as far as getting a great solar system.